I guess I'm asking that I would desire more, yes, more confidence, but more genuine enthusiasm about the process. My takeaway was basically the motivation about resistance now is there. I have a genuine enthusiasm about tomorrow's work. I'm excited about tomorrow's work. I'm like, my goodness, he got all this done and it's clear and it's good and I relate to it. I'm like, my goodness. And I was sitting there stumped. Thank you for going into that for me. It absolutely has already assisted me. So my goodness, Thomas, every time I talk to you, it gives me so much good information, insight, perspective. It's amazing. And I'm so glad that you're progressing and doing even these opportunities for the hypnotherapy and all these different things. So no, absolutely. Thank you. And more than likely, I'll be scheduling another, whether it's coaching or hypnotherapy, I'll be scheduling another one soon as well, maybe, within the next 2 weeks, so I can follow up with you on how things have adjusted even in these next 2 weeks. Since we've met, I felt like we're kind of kindred spirits in a sense. We have the same kind of interest or passion to assist others enjoy life at its most, so maybe a subconscious ability to believe that I actually have a genuine value. I mean, it's kind of strange because I know I'm valuable and I know this for a fact, but that's up here. I'm saying I know this, but in my gut, maybe it's not as obvious or truthful. I might have some grudging there. The bigger picture is focusing on the feeling, not the things. Actually, we go towards the money to experience some type of feeling. And even then, a lot of people think, okay, I'm imagining money, I'm getting this money and it feels this way. They're still only imagining and feeling a certain level. They're not actually embracing the full actual, just the feelings. And that's my whole point is, my issue right now is that's kind of holding me back is how do I communicate this opportunity?
First, we'll go into the trance. We'll provide you a tool, get that confidence and enthusiasm for the work on demand. So we go through that process. And then after you are energized, relaxed, and full of confidence, I will guide you through another exercise, like coaching exercise, which will provide you the clarity you're asking. So how does that sound?
I do feel a lot better. I feel energetic. It's actually late over here, but I actually feel a lot more energy than when we started. Yeah. The eyes were saying thank you more than the mouth was.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes were saying, it is real. Things have changed. I am so grateful. Thank you for doing what you've done or doing something that has changed the way I live. It was from the eyes. It wasn't so much from the mouth in my imagination.
Yeah. Wait, what if I am expressing myself fully just because this resistance is here? Otherwise, I would not get as strong as I am right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be as strong as tomorrow if this resistance wasn't here. And then you'll feel the gratitude for resistance. This is like a warrior mentality. Oh, you're bringing me resistance, I'm getting stronger. Thank you for that. And then you feel the gratitude. And it may go away.
Using those doubts, or in a sense, that resistance as resistance, in actually holding my posture in the correct way, not going too heavy, but holding the resistance and gently allowing me to do the movement that needs to be done, and actually mind body connecting with it. So embracing so-called the pain, embracing the discomfort, knowing that that's actually activating the growth and activating the manifestation of what needs to come from this work. A takeaway in today was absolutely what I was coming here for, and that was the ability to engage with the resistance in a positive way, which is now see the eyes of that transformation, see the eyes of gratitude as my cue or my anchor of that thing that symbol that I go to, that allows me to take on that resistance in a positive way, to actually embrace the resistance, be with the resistance, and put my all into it. Don't, in a sense, grow faint or weak or drop the weight. Hold it, control it, put it where you intentionally want to put it. Because of that shift on who I'm affecting, I think I now genuinely have more empowerment, more enthusiasm to deal with the resistance, and not just deal with it, but actually execute it in a planned, in a strategic way. Wonderful, wonderful. It's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too. How's life?
Yeah.
Tell me a couple of sentences. What's been up since last chat? What have you been doing?
Since last chat, do I have my video on?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Let me see. Oh, it's so dark. Hold on one second. Okay. So let's see. Since last time, let's see. The big difference, the big thing that's been going on since the last time we talked, is I've started being more accountable for, I guess, what you would call purposed work. We have other businesses that I do each day with my family. One is with my daughter and one is with my wife. But the business that I do, I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it. And I feel like I have more purpose in it they're both valuable businesses. But since we talked, I've been engaging more in what I feel purpose to do in life, in assisting other people, things that I've overcome in my life, and it deals more emotionally and like my word that I always bring up, accountability. But
Mhm.
more than that, it has to deal with being honest with yourself and kind of, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of, since we've met, I felt like we're kind of kindred spirits in a sense. We have the same kind of interest or passion to assist
Mhm.
others enjoy life at its most. So I've been working on this pretty steady, and that's kind of what led me to when you messaged me about this hypnotherapy. I said this is probably something that is like meant to happen, because I don't know if I was gonna deliberately ask, but when you actually sent that message, I said this must be meant for me to take advantage of this now, because my whole thing is I know what I'm doing is what I choose to do and I enjoy doing. I know that many people can benefit from this information, but the but is my confidence level in people receiving it. I don't know. I don't know how this is working in my head, because I know I'm going to do this anyway, whether it's for one person or a lot of people. But I know so many people in the earth absolutely can use the information and use the assistance, or even the realization in a way that I can depict. I can depict this in a way that is unique. It's unique. But both sides are very positive. But something in here, when I get to working, it's not here. It's more inside, that I have this resistance that's kind of, it always wants to whisper to me and ask, how can you teach someone else? Or how many people even need this? Why are you spending so much time on something that maybe only a few people would actually even find out about? And so there's been even though I don't listen to that voice, I continue and I continue and I continue. And it's within the last week, so much more progress, so much more has gotten done. And I'm very close to being able to share something. But I have a feeling that something about that resistance is even holding me back from just starting to engage with people. So there's my whole thing is I was thinking that maybe in this session I could bring this up, and maybe you have some type of
Mhm.
insight of maybe where to guide through what you're going to be doing. That inner voice that's saying maybe, and it's maybe not so related to what I'm doing. It might have to do more with my own belief of maybe a subconscious ability to believe that I actually have a genuine value. I mean, it's kind of strange because I know I'm valuable, and it's kind of, I know this for a fact, but that's up here. I'm saying I know this, but in my gut, maybe it's not as obvious or truthful. I might have some grudging there. So
Mhm.
yeah, since we last talked, I've been working a lot more on adding more genuine, effective value, what I believe is effective value, to working on a project that would bring more value to more people in the earth, whether they have money or don't have money, just enjoying their day every day in many ways. So
So you said you want to add the more genuine value to people on a project. Do you have any specific
yes,
project here? Any specific the one that's the most important moment?
for people,
So do you have any project you're working right now, like the most important thing?
yeah.
Because
So
I want to hear more details about it.
it's accountable culture. It's basically emotional empowerment. That's my big thing right now. Accountable culture, being accountable for your emotional um, energy level in each day, because I realized through my experience that unless you have an emotional energy level, you can have the knowledge, you can be working towards something, you can have all the tools and everything right there. But if you don't have that energy to continue, you're always going to be either stopping or slowing down, doubting yourself, giving up. If there's always some type of roadblock if your emotions have issues. And that's what kind of came to me because of my experience. I had so many times where I have the information, I have the tools, everything's there. How come it seems like it's so hard, so heavy to continue and do what I need to do? Why does it feel like it's so much pressure? So accountable culture is this project that I'm working on. That's basically, it's a very, in its beginning stage, it's a very basic concept. I'm just going to have a basic concept of having people lead people with, in a sense, a hook, get people to realize something, to come to realize how they view each day, their perspective. They're viewing it through a certain perspective. And I have an exercise that I would actually, in another conversation, or maybe this week, I'll send you something, but it's an exercise that reveals exactly how most people view their day and how that perspective is off. They're looking almost at a 3D when there's like a 5D further, that
Mm.
they need to be looking deeper, more into feelings, or focusing more on their feeling state than what they're looking at. And this has assisted me so much because I realized that I was only looking at things, the same repetitive things that happened every day. I'd get up, I do this kind of work, I talk to my family, and I would think, I'm doing work for this kind of money. And every day, the same thought patterns were going on every day. And
Mhm.
this exercise that I have, it's going to be a free exercise. I just want to engage people and have them realize something first, that they're viewing life in a perspective that really isn't giving them the most fulfillment and really not giving them the most emotional empowerment, that energy that they need to do anything or to enjoy anything that they're doing in the day. They need to, humans or people who are desiring this need to realize for themselves, not from me counseling or anything, but for themselves through their own eyes, how they're viewing things, and realize for themselves, oh wow, there's the proof. I guess I do see things like this every day, and now that I can see it, that I need to see it more through this lens, or focus deeper into the feeling of what I'm doing in every moment, cover my life in a feeling more than looking at the substance or the things. They would kind of realize that there needs to be more exercise in the way they view their daily life to enjoy and have that emotional empowerment to do things in the day. So I don't know if that sounded like probably a lot, but the first part of this is a very basic idea of just revealing how we perceive our day, our perspective of our day. Most people, not everybody, but most people.
So if I understand correctly, you want to have more confidence and release the resistance and pressure you feel like something's holding you back. Is that right?
Let me think. Pretty much, yes. I like I said, it's not strong resistance because I work each day, but I would like to hope that I could tap into more of what I'm actually describing to people. I want to tap more into the positive feelings of my work. That's the biggest thing. I want to tap into more of the positive feelings. Right now, it feels like just kind of like a task, and it kind of feels not even just a task, because sometimes I could feel like unless I've used my own exercise in my own life to see some type of great big results, how is another person going to really enjoy learning something like this other than realizing? That's why I am excited about this first part, because it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. It's basically proof of how we view our daily lives, and then the proof that we need to take a more deeper feeling focus on how we view our daily lives in order to get more energy, genuine enthusiasm about the day. But what I'm saying is I'm being honest about needing more enthusiasm about my specific work, because this is so new to me. I'm used to just doing artwork. I'm used to doing service related, like, delivering burritos each day, or building costumes with my daughter. But these are all services to people, but they're so different than what I'm doing here. And so I guess I'm asking that I would desire more, yes, more confidence, but more genuine enthusiasm about the process. And I don't know, maybe should I be expecting enthusiasm before I actually start engaging with people? It should, in my daily works. My whole thing is, when I start thinking about other people, it becomes heavier than it needs to be. When it's just about me, it's like easy. It's like, okay, I know what I want to express. This is what it is. But when I think about someone else coming across it, maybe on a website or social media, seeing it, some type of information, are they understanding it? And then once this dialogue goes, my enthusiasm is just like, oh my goodness, so much work. It's like, how do I get this to? So yeah, I don't know if it even came across clear, but yeah,
You
more
did came across
enthusiasm.
clear.
Yeah.
So I'm connecting the dots here behind the scenes, and so I'm going to ask again in a different way. So what's the next thing that you feel resistance against doing? Like, what's the next step you feel like, okay, this is a task, this is so hard, like it shouldn't be that hard? Like, what specific tasks, something that's coming up for you in the next days, next hours, or a week, like something that's like feels too big, or something really specific, like sending a message to 20 people, or making a video, something like really specific, one task.
Really specific is the hook, or the hero title to the information, or to this revelation that I have for people. It's basically copy related. Like, can I put my finger on what I'm doing? So far, I've actually come up with the bigger picture, which is what I'm basically sharing. Is we need to view the bigger picture. And what is the bigger picture? To me, what I'm going to be expressing is the bigger picture is focusing on the feeling, not the things. Actually, we go towards the money to experience some type of feeling. And even then, a lot of people think, okay, I'm imagining money, I'm getting this money, and it feels this way. They're still only imagining and feeling a certain level. They're not actually embracing the full actual, just the feelings. And that's my whole point, is there's a bigger picture to how you can view every day in every way. And it's tapping into that feeling, that desired feeling, and kind of cloaking your day in that, or cloaking yourself in that feeling, and walking through whatever you're doing, whether you're writing a book or walking through the park, or eating, cloaking yourself in the feeling, not so much just the idea of, oh, I can see myself with a lot of money. No, there is an actual honest feeling that you would feel that's different than a lot of other people that would have the same amount of money. it's cloaking yourself in your authentic feeling of what that would bring you. What kind of, would it bring you relief, joy, excitement, confidence? You know, for each person, it's a little different. And only their feeler knows that. It's maybe even at a point not even meant to be verbalized, because it's really a feeling. So coming up with the title or the copy for like the initial offer. So basically I want them to come and come to my landing page, put in their email, and get their free PDF, which is going to be this simple visual exercise, which is going to cause them to actually spend a few minutes to realize something through this visual exercise that they probably have never noticed. I guarantee a lot of people who download this PDF will have really never took this specific way of seeing this perspective. They may have heard about this and maybe even tuned in before in themselves and said, I need to look at things different, or things outside of me are so cluttered and so confusing, or, that I just need to have peace and feel something good. They may have they may know this information, but they probably have not seen it for themselves, so obvious, so blatant. And that's the whole point. Is my issue right now is that's kind of holding me back is, how do I communicate this opportunity for, maybe it's my market, maybe it is, maybe it's even deeper than that. Maybe that's why the copy is like, I can't put my finger on it, because I'm not putting my finger on the specific market. I'm just thinking there's so many people who, whether they're making money, whether they're going to school, whether they're poor, it doesn't matter what class they're in. There's so many people from broad range to broad range that aren't experiencing their daily life in a truly honest, if they were honest with themselves, a fulfilling, an enjoyable way. They could have the woman, the man of their dreams. They could have the cars of their dreams. They could have everything of their dreams, and they're still living a life that's not truly enjoyed. So I think in my head, it's for everybody. So I've been told that you're not supposed to necessarily create a business that, in a sense, deals with everybody. You're supposed to niche down and pick a specific group of people. And I'm like, okay, who do I start with? I've kind of come up with a few ideas, a few different groups, but still, my whole thing is the resistance comes from, how do I make this clear? And like I said, my current idea is title it the big picture. I didn't plan to, even bring this like up this much, but it was the bigger picture. And basically there's a subheading of, um, enjoy, the fullness of life, or the high life, or something entailing that you may be alive, but you may be just existing and not truly living, experiencing life. So it's all copy related. That's kind of tangling me up right now.
Okay, I think I have enough information to guide you through a process. So my
Yes.
plan right now is first we'll go into the trance. I will provide you a tool how to get that confidence and enthusiasm for the work on demand. So we go through that process, and then after you are energized, relaxed, and full of confidence, I will guide you through another exercise, like coaching exercise, which will provide you the clarity you're asking. So how does that sound?
Wonderful,
So
wonderful.
it's gonna be a mix of hypnotherapy and coaching. So first
Okay,
we provide the hypnotherapy, and then at the end of it, the coaching. Okay,
got you.
awesome. So the exercise we're gonna do is gonna be quite visual, and I'm absolutely certain that you're gonna enjoy it. And I will ask you to close your eyes and just find a comfortable position. And I will ask you to imagine a dial or any kind of switch, which you can label from 1 to 5. Can you do that? Do you have any kind of specific visual image in your mind?
A dial of 1 to 5?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
So that's the idea. So number 1 would be your regular awareness, and number 5 will be, I'm so overflowing of enthusiasm, confidence, and fulfillment, and this is so joyful experience. So that's the 5. So I will, as we go, I will label each of the numbers. I would just like to have you a bit of a preview and where we're going, so you understand what's going to happen. So just in a moment, we will start with a quick relaxation. So just find a relaxing scene where you feel calm, also confident and safe. Could be any situation or scene you want. Could be beach, with your friends, family, picnic, whatever scene comes to mind. Where you feel like peacefully calm, yet joyful in the kind of background. Not too excited joyful, it's like content. Like, this is really nice feeling. Like, yeah, I could stay here as long as I want. It's so sustainable that there's nothing pulling me. Like, I'm really relaxed here. Like, there's everything I need here. So just imagine that kind of scene around you, and feel completely aware of surroundings, and just start paying attention to the details around you, and then bring the awareness to the dial and see the dial is turned up to the 1. So now the feeling you have is associated with number 1. See the dial 1 and observe how you feel. Observe the calmness, observe the breath, and observe the scene. So observe how the scene makes you feel. With each breath, become calmer, more relaxed, and go deeper into the trance. And I will ask you once in a while to give me visual affirmation. So whenever you feel like I have embodied this feeling, just nod your head. When you feel like, yes, I'm seen, I feel it, I see it, I hear it, I feel the texture on my skin. If there's a wind, you feel it. If there's something visual, you see the colors, and once it's there, you just nod your head. Awesome. So if you learn after imagining the scene as a first-person view, because you could be observing yourself as a third person of the scene. Now what you ask you is go into the scene and view it from the first-person view, from eyes of this confident person where you are, calmly, and observe how it feels, how it sounds, and observe. And then as you're watching the scene, nod your head when you see yourself in third-person view, feeling calm, confident, relaxed. Feel what's happening around you, and when you're there, when you feel it, nod your head. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you feel calm, you're okay. Awesome. So now you're in the scene, and then you imagine pulling up a TV screen, big, huge screen, could be floating in air. Doesn't It's a magical world. There's no logic to it. It could be just a big screen in front of you. And then in the scene, you imagine yourself being more relaxed and twice as confident, twice as enthusiastic, and doing something that you really love doing. And imagine observing yourself in that screen, and not yourself when you have the scene in front of you, and you see the details, colors, vivid, and you can already start feeling how would the person in that screen feel like. So you're almost connected. So when you're ready, nod your head. So now, when you're observing the scene, imagine turning up this dial up to the number 2. And as soon as you turn up the number 2, you feel like pulled into the screen. And now you're watching the world from first person view of this more confident, more enthusiastic person. And you see doing all the work, all the value provided as a first person observer. And you feel like a person. And then you feel confident, enthusiastic, at the same time calm and peaceful. That everything goes your way. Nod your head when you see the scene and watch everything happening. Now imagine just a small mishap happening, something not going your way, and see that how this person doesn't get phased at all. Like everything, he finds a solution immediately, deals with the situation, and what seemed like a problem a moment ago is not a problem at all anymore. And when you see this problem resolved, nod your head, still feeling confident, enthusiastic, and continuing doing the work. And as you feel still enthusiastic and still seeing the value being provided in the scene, imagine another screen popping on in front of you and see another version of you, twice as more confident than before, being twice as more enthusiastic than you before, and providing so much more value. Imagine the scene, watch this person, and now really pay attention how this person postured, how he moves, how he breathes, how he carries himself, what he's doing. See his gestures, how he interacts with people if there's anyone around, and imagine, and start even imagining what kind of thoughts this person, really confident, really enthusiastic, bringing out the message. Imagine how it would feel. And when the scene is there, nod your head. And now have a bit of curiosity. What would happen if I turned up the dial to 3? And as you think, you automatically turn up the dial up to 3. And as soon as the dial is set on number 3, you see the 3 vividly. And you're being pulled into the screen. And now you see this scene from first person view. And you feel the feelings you previously observed. Now you feel them inside of your body. Feeling confident, enthusiastic, providing so much value and being so clear of the value you provide. It's almost surprising, yet you're calm. You're always confident. And once you're there, observing and feeling, nod your head. Awesome. Really appreciate the moment you have. And now I'll ask you, once more focus on number 3. See number 3, see the dial, see it vividly. And then look to your left and notice one small detail and try to observe all the visual details, like really pull it as close as you can and really go to the fine detail of it. And then put your hand to it, whatever it is, this object or whatever you're visually, slightly touch and feel the texture. And as soon as you have it, nod your head and zoom out back to observing what's happening around you. Still confident, powerful, and enthusiastic, providing value. Keep observing the scene, and now go into the sounds. Observe what kind of sounds you have around you. Are there people, noises, cars, birds, whatever noises, sounds that you hear. And whenever you hear the sounds, not it here. And then for a moment there, let's imagine what kind of thoughts this really powerfully enthusiastic person would have. Let's tune into those thoughts. Let's imagine what kind of self-dialogue, what kind of mental chatter this person would be having. For a moment, imagine when you're there, not your head. It could be zooming in and out, doesn't have to be always, just a glimpse of those thoughts. Now really try to feel the body posture, how this person feels, how this person carries himself, how his voice sounds. Really feel this confidence, valuable, and enthusiastic posture. And now you're getting a bit curious again. Wait, I'm still number three. What if there's something number four? And as soon as you start thinking of number four, you see another TV screen popping in front of your face, big, huge screen, and you see twice as confident, twice as enthusiastic, and twice as much value being offered in the scene. See twice as big, and really observe another version of you being in the screen. See the posture, see the breath, how you breathe is, how it carries, and what's happening around you. Really observe when you're there, nod your head. When you really see this person, you cannot believe how can someone be even more confident, more enthusiastic, what even more value? And then you think, what if I actually dial up to the four? You dial up to the four, and you're immediately being pulled into the scene. You're being pulled and see everything in the first person view. You're now that person. You feel all the emotions, all the feelings, all the sense as of being this person. Nod your head in there, feeling everything confident, enthusiastic. And now see some big problem happening in there and still see this confident person dealing with it effortlessly. Something happens, some problem comes in your way, and immediately there's still confidence, nothing happened, everything gets resolved. You deal with it, it's done. And see it resolved, not your head when you see the problem already. No, it just made it stronger, more confident, more powerful, more enthusiastic. And when you're there, not your head. Really pay attention. See number four, see how you feel. See feel the breathing, feel any sensations of the body. Then put your fist in your hand and really hold it tight in your hand. Really feel this confidence in your fist. Clench your fist. And then there's one more notch to go. So we're going up to number five. You cannot believe there's our number five. And as soon as you think about number five, there's another TV screen popping up here. Field of vision. You see twice as more confident, twice as more enthusiastic, and see unbelievable scene happening. You see yourself, your future self. You see this person being really confident, doing so big things, pouring so much value. You can't imagine that that's you. That could be you. And once you see the scene, observe, not your head. It'll be a bit scary, but you still feel like, what if I dialed up the dial to the number five, and you, with confidence, put your hand to the dial, put it up to the five, and as soon as it's five, you're being pulled into the scene. You feel everything as this person. You see it first person view. You see the colors vividly, make them brighter. You hear the sounds around them, make them louder. You feel the confidence. You feel enthusiasm. You see the value being provided, and everything goes your way. And once you're there in the scene, nod your head. Feel the breath. And again, see the problem coming your way, and nothing bothers you. You feel the confidence. You know how to deal with it. You delegate people. You delegate yourself. You deal with the problems. It's gone. It's resolved. Nothing happens. You know it's done. And even if it's not being resolved, you know it's done. And now observe the thinking process, thought process in this scene. And then you're there, nod your head. Observe the breathing. Put yourself into the posture. Whatever posture you see this person being, put yourself now there, feel it, embody it, connect with it. That's you. That's me. That's me right now. I'm here right now. I don't have to wait anything. That's right now, this moment. I'm valuable immensely. I'm providing this value. I'm being enthusiastic, and I can have it anytime I want. Notice the number five and really see the five and look around and keep looking to the five to the environment around it, five environment around it. And now see something really dear to your heart in the scene. And really see it there and see how it's even more powerful, more loving as you ever imagined this thing that's really person, scene, or object that's really dear to your heart. See there and see even more expressive as ever before, ever was before. See it in color, feel it as much as you can. Make it brighter, make it more bold, and see, feel it. And when you see, when you feel, acknowledge, that's me. I'm here right now. Acknowledge, I'm here. Not your head with that. Done there. Now we're gonna do a small experiment. You're so confident here, and now you have a person, a client coming to you. This is your past client, some person you helped immensely. See this person coming up to you, and imagine this person telling how much you have helped him. Imagine this person congratulating you for all the good, all the changes happening, all the transformation this person has experienced since you've helped him. It's been like 1 year since you met this person, 1 year since you've helped him, and it's in the future. But now it's now. So imagine what this person is telling you, what this person is congratulating, what this person is thanking you for. Observe this person, being so grateful, and hear the words, see the posture, see the breathing, and see the gratitude on this person. And congratulating you, being grateful for the transformation you've done in this person's life. And when you hear it, nod your head. Confident, valuable, and also grateful. Grateful for the transformation you've done for this person. Really gratitude. And then now really thankful from the bottom of the heart to this person for being this life, for giving you this opportunity to help him and let him go. We're going forward. And now we're going to go off the trends and we'll dial down from five back to the one. And as you put the dial back to the four, you're going back to the scene in four. Feel the four. Feel the scene of the four you had before. Feel it and nod your head going into the four. Scene you had before when it was the four. We're going back to the three. Feel the three. Remember the scene you had for the tree. Come back and nod your head when you're back to the tree. Feel the confidence level you had on the tree. Feel the value. Feel the situation is there. Nod your head when you're there. Back to the tree. See the dial going back to the two. And now I remember the scene you had on the two. Remember it. Feel it. Connect with it. Nod your head when you're there. And now we're going back to the one. Put your dial back to the one. Feeling calm, confident. And once you're there in the scene, see the one. Nod your head when you're back into the scene. Feeling peaceful, grateful, confident, valuable, enthusiastic. Nod your head when you're there. Back into this first scene. Whenever ready, I will count down from 5 to 1 again. And once I have 5, once I'm getting down to 1, you'll open up the eyes, feeling wide awake, happy, peaceful, content, fulfilled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes open, feeling wide awake, happy, fulfilled, peaceful, valuable, more than before. How do you feel, Motsi?
I do feel a lot better. I feel energetic. It's it's actually late over here, but I actually feel a lot more energy than when we started. Yeah.
So there are a couple of things I want to tell you about this exercise. You can practice this exercise anytime you want on your own. It's called self-hypnosis. You'll come back to the same scenes, you reimagine dial, and you can add more details to the scenes. You can explore if the feeling matters and anchoring to the observation. So anytime you feel like you need a bit of confidence, you can choose any number you want. If you feel like I just need a 1, it's still the 5 is too far away ahead of me, start with the 1, put the 1, put the 2, any number you want, and really connect with it, and you will feel it. And the more you practice, faster it will happen, easier it will happen. The bigger shift you can make. Basically, this is you enter in an altered state of mind. An altered state of mind is basically just that it does that. Different from where you began. That's it, as simple as that. You're starting where you are, maybe it's a little bit worried, maybe a bit doubtful, and instead of trying to fight it, you just feel this feeling. And then once we're in this empowered state, we can do stuff. And now the second exercise I want to lead you to is, actually before we do that, I'm really curious to hear what were the stories, what were the words that person in number 5 were thanking you. And you can add more details. The idea is that we're going to do the same exercise we did before, but now we're doing in this regular focused wake state. So now I want you to retell the story. So basically, you met this person, you coached, impacted, he saw your video, whatever the impact you had on this person. After 1 year, you have met him, and now you're retelling the story. Oh, today I met this person, he told me this and that. So that's the story you want to tell me. You tell me what this person told you, and you can add more details right now. Like if you had just a couple of details, what kind of impact you had, you can add as many details you want. So that's what I want you to do right now. Just tell me the story of this person you impacted. So yeah, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so start.
So the details of that interaction in the level 5 was, for me, it was a woman, and the eyes were saying thank you more than the mouth was.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes were saying, it is real. Things have changed. I am so grateful. Thank you for doing what you've done, or doing something that has changed the way I live. It was from the eyes. It wasn't so much from the mouth in my imagination.
Yeah. Yes.
So because I when I went to the level 5, I was choosing to go, you said, multiply, double the intensity of it. And I said, if someone was already experiencing great results and feeling good and living life and amazing, at level 5, I would think all that could be expressed is a look of like genuine gratitude towards life itself. I can't believe my life has changed. And to look at those eyes that are genuinely grateful for life, that was the reward to me, that someone is looking at life that's with such genuinely grateful eyes. Yeah.
So I think the original intent of this exercise was slightly different. However, I see that where we landed for the outcome of this exercise is this is your solution for the problem you've been having. Whenever you feel like I'm not providing enough value, is this good enough? Or I feel like there's doubt coming in. I encourage you to remember this woman, look at her eyes, and when you remind yourself, no, this video is for that woman. This video is for that specific person, for that woman, and I'm making it for her. And it's going to be so impactful. So, and the more you tune into that person, the more you understand the person, what the struggle she was going through, what was the thing that she needed to hear, the easier for you it will be to actually feel that enthusiasm, actually feel that passion, and feel that fulfillment and value, because you told her. And as you do the project, as you film the video, as you do the outreach, or whatever the task you have, you feel like, okay, this feels like a chore. Then you remind yourself, no, I'm doing it for her. I really feel that gratitude, and no, I have to do it. I want to do it. Not that you have to do it. I really want to do it. I want to be the person showing up there.
I see.
Another thing is, as you were saying about resistance, and from what I hear, it's almost sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it almost sounds like you're expecting resistance not being there. It's almost like I've done so much work, I've done so much stuff, so it shouldn't be there. Like it's almost like it's holding me back. And my encouragement, if that's the case, if it's not, you tell me it's not. However, if that's the case, how about shifting the perspective of feeling that resistance as actually something that feels there's something more here to do, and see it as some kind of help, some kind of gift. And there's three ways how to see this resistance as a gift. Instead of interpreting it as something that holds you back and you're not able to express yourself fully, you can see it as a gift that builds your muscle. Like there's resistance, you cannot build a muscle if you don't have resistance. If it's too easy, you're not going to build muscles. So the next time you feel this resistance of you doing something that, if like the story goes, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not expressing myself as much as I could have if this resistance wasn't there. And instead of seeing it from this perspective, you shift around and see, wait, what if I am expressing myself fully just because this resistance here? Otherwise, I would not get as strong as I am right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be as strong as tomorrow if this resistance wasn't here. And then you feel the gratitude for resistance instead of shame, guilt, or oh, there's something wrong with me, or I need to show up more to actually bring the value to this woman. Instead of having these kind of fight, and that's also a perspective shift. You don't want to fight the resistance. The more you fight, the more you try to push it away. I know you're strong. The more power it gains, and it's harder to release it. However, if you actually see it as something valuable, and once in a while, it's also the first step. Like the first level is, oh, this is like a warrior mentality. Oh, you're bringing me resistance. I'm getting stronger. Thank you for that. And then you feel the gratitude, and it may go away. If that doesn't work of going away, there's another thing. So another perspective how you can view it is seeing it as a learning opportunity. So there's probably some unresolved issue, some kind of worthiness issue, whatever is there. And then you're able to connect to this feeling from sense of confidence and really try to, what's the gift in here? What can I learn from this? What, like, is it holding me back, or it's actually pointing me in the right direction? And then you resolve it. And again, you feel the gratitude, you see, oh, this is something really valuable. Instead of trying to push it away, no, I don't want to see it, I don't want to feel it, it's holding back. No, it's actually bringing valuable information. Then you try to see what's the information that's bringing me here. Like, what can I learn from this? Or maybe another shift is really valuable to you. Everyone feels it. Everyone feels resistance. And now, as you feel this resistance, you're more expressive. You're more connected to the people who are doing a message. Like, you feel it. And because you feel it, you can connect to the people. If you don't feel it, you're too high for them. You're not able to connect to the struggle. And because you feel it, you can genuinely say, I feel it. I've been doing so much work. I'm here right now, guys. And even feels like I've done so much. I still feel it. It's still strong. And I enjoy it. Like, that's what, like, and that brings you back to the connection to the people you're actually helping with. And there was a third one. And the third one was, so there was seeing it as a gift, seeing it as something that, another thing is third one is using it as a stepping stone for making more bold and inspired action. So if it feels like, so it's more specifically for something, some failure you had in the past, like you have this feeling and it comes, oh, in the past I did that, oh, in the past I failed like this, and you still feel the effects of that in the present. And when that kind of thing happens, when it's related to the past mistake, the third perspective is, okay, that was in the past. What inspired action I can take so I don't make the same mistake as I did in the past? What's the bigger thing I can make as a motivation to do something bigger than I would have done if I hadn't done it? So use the motivation to take even bigger steps. So that's the third one. Like, okay, I wouldn't have taken this step I'm thinking right now if I hadn't had this mistake before. I would probably be scared. I wouldn't have enough knowledge, or no, now I'm actually, no, I have to do it because of this thing in the past. And then you again feel excited. Does it make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Especially out of those three that you gave me, the most connected one that I connected with was the that example of resistance, because I've experienced a lot of growth physically from working out in a different way physically. I was able to mentally connect with using those doubts, or in a sense that resistance as resistance, in actually holding my posture in the correct way, not going too heavy, but holding the resistance and gently allowing me to do the movement that needs to be done, and actually my body connecting with it. So embracing so-called the pain, embracing the discomfort, knowing that that's actually activating the growth and activating the manifestation of what needs to come from this work. So that first one really connected here. The other two were still amazing, and I'm still going to absolutely tune into those as well. But I think that first one was probably the most genuinely connecting for me, because I've had physical results of what doing a physical thing the right way, connecting with the resistance rather than just doing the movement, connect with the resistance, embrace the resistance, and see the results from that. So I absolutely, yes, 100%. All three of them, I received it. Yeah, I heard it clear. Yes.
So I'll just give you another perspective and how to see this is, right now I'm going through the 32-day challenge. You've probably seen it on Instagram and social media. So right now I'm on a week, second week, and I'm going through the archetype magician. Do you know anything about archetypes?
No, I really don't. but I read, that's funny that you brought that up because it was this morning that I read the post on the magician from your Instagram profile. And I was reading it, and my mind was so much more on how does he how does he put this together and actually post it? Like it's been so much resistance for me to even post any kind of information. My mind was more on how does he do this? Like what is his motivation? What is his fuel? What is his empowerment that allows him to put out content? You know, and so my mind was there. I read the whole archetype, the magician, and I absolutely. It's interesting that you bring up the word magic because that's my whole point. Is it almost seems wondrous or whimsical when you shift your perspective. So that word magic has been coming up in my mind in the last week more than I probably ever. I really don't. I mean, I know of magic. I like magic. I like the word magic and things, but I really don't use the word magic. It's never really been a part of my my notes. But when I read yours, it's interesting because in the last week that specific word has been popping up as what there's this certain magic to life that people aren't experiencing. And so no, I'm gonna basically read your post again because, like I said, after I got halfway through, I was like, "How does he do this? Like, what's the fuel that gets him to actually like post, you know, or to write so many words and like get it out easy? You know, I don't know if it's easy. I'm just thinking this way. I'm like, my goodness, he got all this done and it's clear and it's good and I relate to it. I'm like, my goodness, and I was sitting there stumped. So after that, I sat there and was thinking for a while, and then then I went to make sure that everything was set up for tonight's because it's night over here for our session today. So. But no.
How much time
definitely.
I could give you a bit of insight. How much time you have? I could give you a bit of insights of the process of what happened behind the scenes. I have to check my calendar. When is my next call? Okay, my next call in half an hour. How much time you have? Just to keep.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So for me, it's I have this idea of making a 32-day challenge of creating a vision board, and for me, it's personally on the back of my phone. And it's almost the same thing I have in all the posters. Like the details in each post I have, it's basically the same images, more or less. They're just some of them are taken out, some of them are moved a bit. However, the main theme is the same: having a magical life, and having a reminder. Having a reminder, like in my case, it's a vision board. I put it on my tablets as a background, everywhere. Like it's everywhere. I see it on my phone, on my computer. It's basically a vision board that's always reminding me I'm living a magical life, and every day is getting more magical. And how I did it, I based it on 4 archetypes, and those 4 archetypes are the 4 most powerful masculine type archetypes. So my challenge right now is the week 1 was just basically connecting with your values, remembering what's important to you, and now I can go forward. This is week 2, which is magician. Then I'm going to go through lover, warrior, and emperor. And this is the sequence I've been going through them myself in my life. For me, the magician was the easiest one to connect with. Like this is like easy, like magician is like playful, curious, technology, having solutions, curiosity, seeing unseen, bringing something new in life, creativity. And for me, it's like really easy. The second one is lover, which is basically being caring, loving, grateful, softer. Instead of trying to fight, like a warrior would be this fight, lover would be kind of like, how can I serve this person in a most kind and supportive way? Let's giving support. Maybe it's a silence, maybe just a handshake, hug, whatever. Like just being there, like more of a loving and a kind, bit more feminine energy. And then we go for the warrior. And the warrior is someone I've been avoiding for a while in my life. And this is exactly the energy you felt when you described feeling resistance. That's the strong warrior. Like, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to get over the resistance. Not always fighting is also like, okay, I'm going to win this battle. Maybe I don't need to fight. So I'm going to conquer it. And maybe the warrior is also kind of open up to the, I'm going to show up so confident that the fight will not happen because I'm so confident. I'm not going to win. Like, there's no reason for me to fight. Like, even if resistance comes up, like, so what? Like, I'm going to conquer you. Like, there's no doubt about it. Do you want to play with it? Do you want to play with it, or you want to give up, or how you want to play it? That's the warrior. And you want to really encourage. You said that you have this clear message, and the problem comes if you have only one character, only one archetype you're using for everything. Like if you're always in this warrior mindset, I'm going to fight everything. It's almost like you imagine. It's almost like when you were a couple of months ago when we had the first call, when you kind of like fighting your way through this old work, and then at some point, because you're using only this warrior, this one man has to do everything in your life, like deal with that, deal with this, do this. Like he gets tired, but as everyone else needs to sleep to rest. Like any exercise, you need to exercise, but you also need to rest, recover. So the problem comes when you have such a high load of stress and demands, and everything's all with this one person. You have many other ways of dealing with it. You can have magician, lover, emperor, any other archetypes, any other the modality, like. And as I said, like you want to play with all of them. And yes, one of them will be stronger. Like, and that's why I wanted, like, when a stress situation comes, go for your strongest one. When a stress is low enough to deal with it, start playing around with those other archetypes, like lover, magician. So kind of like do the big work with the warrior if that's the strongest one. And then when it's a bit manageable, okay, see how I can deal with the magician. Just try it out. Because now don't have a pressure. I don't have to deal with this small distance. Can I do it with the magician? If I cannot, okay, I may ask for warrior because I really need it to tell, but it's still like not relying solely on that one. So that's the message I want to tell you.
I see. I see.
And
Yep.
regarding the post, for me, the biggest resistance was actually procrastination and actually making a clear outline and vision for the whole 30 days. For the first 4 days, it's easy because as every day comes, I can just kind of finalize the idea. I have my main intention. I have my outcome. I start, okay, what's my outcome? What's my intention? What's my message? And then from that message, it's easy kind of to expand. And then once I write something, I can, is it still more or less what I wanted? Okay, it's done. And the hardest part for me was actually getting to this. I have 4 sets of weeks of 4 archetypes, and I did it literally yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, okay, I have 7 days to do, and it's Monday. I have to do the magician. And I cannot have a post on Monday and then decide what to do on Tuesday because I want to have a clear succession and clear progression. I want to have a strategy. I'm going to post these 7 days because it's connection. I want to have it as a progression. I want to have it as a journey. So I want to have a strategy. So yesterday I made a strategy. How it's going to look like. Okay, day one was, let me check what I have in my notes. So yeah, day one was understanding the feeling, like understanding how, like actually knowing like what a magician is, like understanding, okay, because many people don't even know what a magician is. And this kind of objection handling, okay, what does it mean to be a magician? Like, what are the words? How do I? And the day two is for me is, which I'm going to post today, it's a visual. So finding visual cues, how does a magician look like? So now it's basically the same script we went through the hypnotherapy here. It's anchoring into the visual, audio, and feeling senses. So these are the 3 themes I'm going through. So the day one was actually kind of understanding the feelings. Day two is going to understanding how it looks like visual, so I can actually bring up visual reminders. Like when you see the movie or something, oh, that's magician. That's how it feels to be a magician. We have these reminders always. And day three is the audio, like what kind of voice, what kind of thought patterns, affirmations. So this kind of thing. And I'm going like in 7 days, I have this theme. I'm going to, and once I have a theme, it's easier because I just have to stick to the script. Already made a decision. This is going to be a theme. I don't know yet what I'm going to post on each day. However, I have this certainty. Okay, today I'm going to go for visuals, and then I might need to do a bit of research, come up with the things, contemplate, and then I just build it up. It may take me an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, but I know for sure this is the message I want to send. This is day number 2, and once you have an outcome and intention, and I can make posts all day, every day. It just takes some time. Like as soon as I have an idea, inspiration, I can just start typing out. I could have been, at this point for me, like I've been doing so much posts, it's harder for me to make short posts, concise and clear, than just to write random stuff. I can write random stuff all day, every day, you know? And then it's the lack of congruency. Okay, today I'm writing about magician, tomorrow I'm writing about food, then I wrote about, like, people may get confused because there's so much variety, and it's like, what is this guy talking about? What is about, you know? I could do the all day, every day. It's about, okay, sticking to this one thing. I want to have this bigger vision, like accountability. Okay, how can I make accountability relatable? This idea, like, okay, I'm always talking about accountability, but I always like, I have like 150 ways of approaching it. It could be from lens of family, business, friends, could be cooking food, fitness, could be all kinds of stuff. And you just shuffle it through, you know, like, what's my theme of today? Or you could also reflect, okay, what was my challenge yesterday? What's my biggest challenge yesterday? Or what's my biggest thing I learned today in regards of accountability? And then you kind of, okay, you go down on a line. So that's the thought process for me. Does it make sense?
I see. Definitely. Thank you for going into that for me. It absolutely has already assisted me. So my goodness, Thomas, every time I talk to you, it gives me so much good information, insight, perspective. It's amazing. And I'm so glad that you're progressing and doing even these opportunities for the hypnotherapy and all these different things. So no, absolutely. Thank you. And more than likely, I'll be scheduling another, whether it's coaching or hypnotherapy, I'll be scheduling another one soon as well, maybe, within the next 2 weeks, so I can follow up with you on how things have adjusted even in these next 2 weeks.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you
So
again.
what's your one takeaway? So I would love to hear what's your 1 or 2 takeaways from this call, like just summarize up, and one action step, like one action, what thing that changed and you would do differently compared from before?
A takeaway in today was absolutely what I was coming here for, and that was the ability to engage with the resistance in a positive way, which is now see the eyes of that transformation, see the eyes of gratitude as my cue or my anchor of that thing, that symbol that I go to, that allows me to um to 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 take on that resistance in a positive way, to actually embrace the resistance, be with the resistance, and put my all into it. Don't, in a sense, grow faint or weak or drop the weight. Hold it, control it, control it, control it, control it. Put it where you intentionally want to put it. But because of that genuine gratitude, I have, in a sense, a motivation and a reason to connect and hold that resistance. There's a lot more empowerment. There's a lot more enthusiasm about that resistance, or that in a sense that what's the word, not irritation, but the pain that would normally you would feel from like putting the effort in, I see the perspective shift has already, occurred, that I'm not viewing it as just like, why am I doing this? And there's nothing that really registers of why I'm handling such a resistance or where I'm going to put the thing. Um, because of that shift on who I'm affecting, I think I now genuinely have more empowerment, more enthusiasm, um, to deal with the resistance, and not just deal with it, but actually execute it in a planned, in a strategic way. Even though it takes a lot out of me, I'm willing to do what needs to be done during that specific exercise. Don't add too much to it, but just do that one thing in front of me, do it well, and make sure it gets done the way I planned on executing it. So the main takeaway was who I'm doing it for, which has given me more already confidence and and excitement about going back to the resistance, because I know the weights will be there tomorrow. I know the resistance is going to be there tomorrow, waiting for me to do this work. But now, just like when I found out about physical resistance and how when you actually connect the right way, you actually look forward to dealing with the weight. You're actually excited about the weight. You're actually excited about the resistance. So my takeaway was basically the motivation about resistance now is there. I have a genuine enthusiasm about tomorrow's work. I'm excited about tomorrow's work.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear
Thank
that.
you so much, Thomas. Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Do you mind if I use some clips from this recording?
No, absolutely. No, that absolutely. Can I get a copy?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Absolutely. No, yeah, you're fine. Yes, use it.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes,
Have a good
yes.
night. Maxi, you have a good night and keep in touch.
Thank you again, Thomas. I will. Thank you again.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.